won a match each so far. Guts slightly more experienced than SINIP, but SINIP already has a win under his belt today. He'll be looking to continue that run of good form. But Guts is a very unpredictable player. We know that he likes to run some unusual drafts. Having said that, so does SINIP.
He does indeed. What can you tell us about his lineup here, SINIP, in terms of the most picked monsters versus those that are banned as well?
Valantis is a very strong unit that has a very stacked kit, and it's one of his most picked monsters. Pairs it up with that speed lead from Oliver, and it's just amazing. And that extra strips with the Juno and Valantis, so double strip is always very advantage to your team.
Indeed. And Guts the Berserk we saw compete last week. Obviously, Guts had a victory last week, so actually got himself a win, hence going straight through to this round, this best of 5 round, where one of these two players will progress to the next part of this, which is actually a place in Europe Cup. Baus, Guts the Berserk here. An interesting player, one we get excited to see. What stands him out from the rest of the crowd?
Well, Guts the Berserk has a really interesting draft. As we see, he likes to bring some sustain. He probably won't have the same draft this season as he brought in the season we see on the screen, but we will be expecting to see a lot of that Oliver. I do think that actually the previous weekend he had a little bit more of a conventional draft with things like Masher and Oliver, which we see a lot more often. So maybe he will just continue to do that, or he'll bring something unusual. We know he likes the Desarion, for example. That's a unit that SINIP will be looking to watch out for.
Interesting. Very, very interesting. It is time for the very first of the best of 5s. This first game should tell us a lot about how our players are going to approach this. Obviously, SINIP, having played earlier on today as well, may have a bit of wind in his sails already going into this one. But Guts waiting in the wings, preparing for this too. It's a best of 5, first of 3 ultimately. Let's head in to the pick and bans.
Summoners, get comfortable in your seats. This is the main course, the first one of the 4. Match number 1, round 2 of losers bracket. Oliver and Valantis get the pre-ban. Guts the Berserk goes with the first pick, gets the Praha locked in for that first slot. SINIP looking to respond to that Praha. Goes with the Masha, and not sure what the other unit is, but he's taking his time to consider it. All right, I think boss is muted, so we got the Shizuka on SINIP's side. Masha and Shizuka locked in for SINIP. Guts the Berserk, 2 and 3, second slot and third slot yet to be decided. The Praha was recently buffed, so she's got that strip potential, but we've got that Shizuka on the field as well.
Hello, can you hear me? Am I back? Oh, excellent,
He's...
wonderful. I think I have gotten to the bottom of that issue, and I have to say that early Praha pick, whilst a surprise pick, actually works excellently against SINIP's subsequent 2 picks, almost choosing 2 units that particularly don't deal well with the Praha for some reason.
Here we go. Guts the Berserk picking up Vanessa and Merlong for second and third unit. SINIP responding with the Changpeng and the Nana.
Indeed, the Mo Long is really nice pick as well into the Masher. There's a lot of counters to the Masher at the moment, but the Changpeng actually does really well against Guts' lineup if SINIP can bring another stripper. He doesn't have the Valantis at his disposal at the moment, unfortunately. Does he have an alternative stripper? Maybe something like the Maw?
As predicted earlier, Tesarion comes out to play. Guts the Berserk gets that Bolvak as well for his final unit. SINIP, 1 more slot left for his final unit. What will it be?
Well, it's definitely, almost certainly going to be a water unit, I feel, or a wind unit potentially.
All right, Annabelle comes out to play for SINIP's side as his final unit. Bans are about to come out any moment now.
A lot of water units on both sides of the field. Guts the Berserk probably looking out for the Changpeng or maybe the Nana. I think for SINIP, he might just want to ban out that speed lead or the main source of damage, the Mo Long. But the Bolverk is going to be really scary against this Masher. We've seen how well Bolverk can do against Masher in the past.
Here we go. Guts the Berserk opting in with that speed lead with the Vanessa, and SINIP with the HP lead from Shizuka. This is a best out of 5. First turn, very fast Bolvak with the 4 stacks, but it is enough for the Merlong to reckless assault. Tesarion follows after that Bolvak. What is Tessa going to do?
That is such a fast Tesarion. It means that he's able to put Oblivion on the Masher before Masher gets a turn. Because, of course, Masher is usually Nemesis these days rather than Will. And this is a tricky situation for SINIP because Oblivion has landed at the second attempt.
Whoa, huge plays from Guts the Berserk. Yeah, Malong taking out that Shizuka out of this match with that reckless assault. Masha dealing some damage into Vanessa early on, but not enough. Changpeng goes for the strip, lands the glancing and the defense break on the Malong. Here we go. Masha skill 1 into Vanessa, does very little damage. Volvak, 1 stack. Not going to be doing too much right now. Goes for the heal on the Annabelle. Oh, Vanessa dismounting that Masha.
Whilst I do like Guts' draft a lot from the start, it was really unfortunate for SINIP just now that his Anival actually only landed 1 defense break out of 4 on the Long. If Anival had managed to land a defense break on the Vanessa, it would have been much closer a match. But it is not over yet. Anival has a really loaded kit, and she can definitely take this match back potentially if that Vanessa goes down, because there's no one to bring stacks to the Bolverk at the moment apart from himself actually.
This Tessarion with the additional turn, she had the glancing, not doing too much damage on that Masha. Masha putting in some damage into the Vanessa. Vanessa not looking too healthy. Vanessa taking out that Masha with the skill 1, proccing her passive into Changpeng. Changpeng has that defense break, not looking too good for Changpeng. Procs out of the defense break, goes for serious matter, takes out Vanessa and Melong. Wow, this is a huge play.
Wow, that was a huge proc from Changpeng. And as I said before, the Annabelle is really doing so much for SINIP. Did you notice also how his dismounted Masha survived multiple procs from the Tessarion? That is a really tanky Masha. Masha doesn't do a huge amount of damage, but he's been able to survive for long enough to take attention away from the Annabelle, because the Annabelle is the unit that can really take this match by the scruff of its neck.
There we go. Annabelle goes with the skill 1 into Bolvak with that defense break, failing to sleep in. Bolvak continues to heal with 1 stack from that Annabelle. Tessarion fails to land Oblivion on the Annabelle. Resistance from the Annabelle. Bolvak with the heal again. Tessarion.
It is still 2v1, of course. It's definitely not yet decided right now that Annabelle is going to have to land some defense breaks, and at the same time, if this Tessarion lands a couple of crits on the Annabelle, things definitely change.
There we go, Bolvak again with a very tiny heal with 1 stack. Annabelle lands the sleep on Tessarion. We know Tessa can take a few hits with that ancient power passive. But here we go. It's anyone's game at the moment. Annabelle with the skill 3 defense break landed on the Tessarion. We know it's a 3-turn defense break. She cannot proc out of it. Tessarion does not proc out of that defense break. Still 1 turn there.
Oh, I feel like SINIP might have made a misplay there in going for the skill 3 rather than the heal, because the Tessarion has made Annabelle very unhealthy right now, and just 1 or 2 more crits could be a game changer. Is Annabelle going to be able to get another Girls Prayer heal off before she gets taken out?
Oh, here we go. Guts the Berserk Tessarion taking out that Annabelle just in time to win that first set on this first match.
These games have kicked off very nicely, fellas. I tell you what, I thought we saw there, obviously, SINIP taking out 2 of Guts' units with one skill move there. However, Guts manages to maintain, hold on, and remain steady, despite the fact it could have gone either way towards the end. Guts has the advantage here, Baus, and is looking pretty.
Indeed, he actually participated in such a back and forth match there today. We've had a couple of back and forth matches here, but that was definitely one of them. At one point, I did think that Annabelle would really carry the team in an almost 1v4 situation. Unfortunately, it wasn't enough. I do think when she had the chance to heal, she had that opportunity, she didn't. I think that made a little bit of a difference. If she managed to heal, the Tessarion would not have made the Annabelle so unhealthy. But at the same time, it is really impressive. It just shows the rune quality of that Tessarion and how many hits he was able to take without getting taken out. Fire beats water today, ladies and gentlemen.
It certainly does. Elementally, Fire has taken the biscuit and rolled with it. And in game 2 now, Guts could make it 2-0, but SINIP has everything he needs, we think, to get back into this one. It's over to pick and bans for game 2 of Losers Bracket 2.
Here we go, guys. Set number 2. I have a feeling these two are not done yet. We got the pre-bans in, we got the Juno and the Oliver pre-bans.
Indeed, the Juno and the Oliver, 2 units that each player does like to use. I am wondering if this time round SINIP is going to pick up the Anival again, because the Oliver is pre-banned. Is Guts going to be bringing some wind units that deal with the potential future Anival pick?
SINIP picking up the Shizuka for first pick very quickly. She is locked in. Guts the Berserk responding with the Praha and the Masha.
Guts the Berserk really likes that Praha pick, and the Praha does really, really well against the Shizuka by stripping the buffs that Shizuka can bring. Masha is quite an early Masha pick, I feel, and it's really interesting because, of course, SINIP still has access to the Anival, which is a water unit that Masha is going to struggle to deal with, so SINIP can just avoid picking any units that the Masha does well against.
Here we go. We saw this combo earlier, the Shizuka and the Tomoe from SINIP. SINIP picking up the Valentis and Tomoe for his second and third pick. Guts the Berserk picking up the Vanessa and the Annabelle on his draft.
I'm really looking forward to this Tomoe Shizuka combination again. I wonder if he's going to also bring out the Shiho again, because the Shiho does synergize well and is a water unit that does well against Guts the Berserk's draft. Guts the Berserk, interestingly, has stolen the Annabelle from SINIP.
SINIP picking up that Herney and the Shiho for his final unit for his draft, and it's locked in.
Indeed, the Shiho does come out excellent. Excited to see that in action. I'm not sure about the Hearn pick. Hearn does put Oblivion on the Vanessa, but at the same time, there's not many other units with passives that the Hearn can deal with, apart from this Bolvik that's just come out onto the field.
Guts the Berserk, final unit locked in. Bolvak, as Boss has just mentioned. The bans are in. Praha gets the ban. Shiho gets the ban. Lead skills are in. Guts Berserk with the 33 speed lead. SINIP with the 24 speed lead from Tomoe. Here we are, guys. Hold on to your seats, because this match is just beginning right now. Annabelle, wow, so fast, takes the first turn.
Wow, interestingly, both Annabelle and Vanessa off will for Guts the Berserk. I wonder what offsets they're on, because this means that the Hearn can actually put Oblivion on the Vanessa very early on. I'm really looking forward to seeing this Tomoe and Shizuka combo in action once again, though.
Valentis managing to get rid of all the shield sets on Guts Berserk's side, provoking a couple of units, stunning, glancing, landed on most of the units. Tomoe missing the stun on that Vanessa.
That was a really important provoke on Annabelle. He'll be hoping that Annabelle does not sleep the Valentis on her turn and actually take the turn anyway. But now we're gonna get to see the Shizuka and Tomoe combo.
There we go, all things in nature, and then Shizuka spreads it all around, gets attacked by, dealing some damage onto that Masha. Valentis follows up. Looks like a unit is out of this match. No, looked like Upper Masha was out. Herney with a B transfer now, skill 1 into Masha.
That was beautiful to see, but this Anival is still on the field, and the Anival might get the chance to heal the team back up. The SINIP will be looking to take out this Vanessa and the Masha as quickly as he can, whilst he is still able to get some control and take some turns.
There we go, that Masha was taken out of the field, activating Vanessa's passive. Annabelle goes for the heal and the cleanse. Bolfak, 5-stack heal, takes it off Shizuka. Shizuka not looking too healthy right now.
I'm not sure about that target selection from SINIP. He had the chance to actually take out the Vanessa before the Masha, whilst the Masha was stunned anyway. He chose not to, and now things are looking really good for Guts the Berserk, because SINIP is a little bit low on damage right now.
There we go, Vanessa taking out that Shizuka. Valentis failing to stun that Annabelle, stuns the Masha in return. Bolvar goes with a little bit of damage onto the Tomoe.
I wonder if he's going to put Oblivion on the Masha or the Vanessa. Of course, Tomoe can actually spread the Oblivion on all of the units when she has the chance.
Here we go, Annabelle managing to sleep that Tomoe, gets an additional turn, gets the heal and the cleanse on Guts Berserk's side, dealing skill 1 damage from Bolvar onto that Herney. Valentis landing some dots onto Guts the Berserk's team.
I do feel like in this match overall, Hearn has brought not very much, and in fact, this SINIP is just really low on damage. If Hearn was replaced by a unit that actually does good damage, something like a Miles potentially, or maybe a Belio even, then that might be a little bit of a different match. Unfortunately, it's not the case, and once this Tomoe goes down, I'm not sure how SINIP is going to get the match back. Volantis does do solid damage, but it's just not been enough so far.
Here we go, Tomoe. Karma is available. Skill 3 is available. Goes for the skill 3 spread. Gets that full attack bar. And then lands the Karma onto the Masha.
Indeed, I think at the moment, Vanessa has the Oblivion on, so Masha is... Oh, Masha just does come up anyway, because that's not Oblivion. I think that is... Oh, I'm not... That is quite an interesting interaction, actually, that Vanessa has Oblivion, and yet... Oh, I believe that Vanessa is not weak to Oblivion, actually, because it is a skill, not a passive, or what is returned. So, actually, Hearn has done almost nothing for SINIP in this match.
There we go. Tomoe failing to strip that Masha with the immunity. Bova goes for a little bit of heal from the Herne, but anything small is beneficial for Guts the Berserk. Annabelle goes for the heal again. Lands the 3-turn defense break on SINIP's side. SINIP not looking too healthy right now. Herne lands the defense break, 3-turn on Vanessa. And Tomoe trying to survive by an inch. Bolvak takes her out.
I do feel like, Killer, that Guts the Berserk has taken away the Annabelle from SINIP and used SINIP's most fearsome tool against him, and used her to devastating effect, because Annabelle brings that cleanse, the AoE defense break, and the slow that really counters what SINIP has brought to the table excellently. And yeah, there's just nothing SINIP could do, really. I feel like Guts drafted incredibly well in that match. SINIP just did not have enough damage.
That is absolutely the case there. Guts the Berserk going up 2-0 there. I mean, I think it's a great way of managing. Obviously, a big factor here in Summoners War is managing each of your sets, each of your games as well. Managing situations, regardless of the pick and bans. And it feels like Guts just managed his team exceptionally well there, Baus. Managing to heal up and attack when necessary, and just whittled away at SINIP's help before he took the 2-0 victory. I think it was a great display of what he's capable of and why he could be in to the Europe Cup first position there going through today.
Pretty much, and indeed, we saw that Bolverk did very little, but it didn't matter because SINIP had those units with the control, the Shizuka and the Tomoe, but when you have the control, you need to combine that with damage. In the match with Drunken Tutu, he also had the Shiho, so the Shiho was able to bring the damage. Fortunately, in this case, only real source of damage was Volantis, and Volantis damage is quite weak. You want some slightly harder single target hitting damage. Didn't have that, and Guts was able to survive and just slowly whittle away at SINIP.
And Guts make it 3-0 and secure his place in the Europe Cup, making it the 5th player to confirm their slot. Let's find out what happens in this next matchup.
Here we go, guys. Match point for Guts the Berserk. SINIP looking for a comeback. It is 2-0, set number 3. Guts the Berserk with the first pick.
I wonder if it's actually a blessing in disguise that SINIP doesn't have access to the Volantis anymore, because I don't feel like the Volantis actually does that much for the rest of his draft. I think single target damage is more effective against Guts the Berserk than something like the Volantis.
All right, Guts the Berserk picking up Shizuka for that first pick. I feel like Guts is just trying to steal SINIP's draft all the time, one unit at a time. Locks in Shizuka for Guts the Berserk side. SINIP responding with the Dominic and O'Reilly for first and second pick. Guts picking up that Marsha as the second unit.
That's really exciting to see the Dominic. SINIP finally bringing in the damage, and this Dominic is going to be really have to work overtime in order to take out that Masha. I do like the fact that Guts has taken the Bolverk away from SINIP, because I was thinking that SINIP would want to pick up the Bolverk in order to help him deal with that Masha.
Guts the Berserk with a Masha and Bolverk for second and third unit. SINIP bringing out his Nasha and Tableau for third and fourth unit.
Incredible. I'm really looking forward to seeing this Nasha in action. Unfortunately, the Leo has already been brought onto the field, which counters the Nasha and the Tableau very hard. I'm fully expecting that Leo to get banned out, so that Guts the Berserk will be thinking, what other unit can I bring? Potentially some kind of fire, hard-hitting damage, like one of his favorite units, as we see actually right now. SINIP is going to have to bring some water units in order to deal with what Guts the Berserk has.
There we go. Guts the Berserk brings out Leo and Tessarion for his final 2 picks. SINIP responding with the Ken. Does this indicate that he might leave Leo in?
Well, it certainly does, because Leo is an excellent counter, or rather Ken is an excellent counter to Leo, as we saw Shizu demonstrate last weekend. I do wonder if Guts the Berserk is going to be thinking, oh, okay, the Ken is now a must ban, or going to leave him in, or ban out the Dominic or the Riley instead.
Whoa, the Dominic gets the ban and the Shizuka gets the ban. Both players are about to lock in their leader skills. We got Leo with the defense for Wind and the speed lead for Tableau on SINIP's side.
Defense for lead rather than the resistance lead. Really interesting. Guts the Berserk really wants his Leo to survive all of these Ken attacks.
There we go. Leo, where will you direct your damage? Ken, oh, just standing there looking ready to pounce. Here we go. Riley with the attack. Oh, Riley cuts in. She's a very, very fast Riley.
She's very fast, but I'm interested in why Ken does not actually have immunity on. It doesn't really matter anymore. He didn't have Warriors. That could have been quite dangerous if the Masher and Tessarion had moved before the Ken. But the Riley has had a really lucky proc there.
Oh, Nasha failing to strip and land the defense break on that Masha. Tableau takes a turn, stunning that Leo, gets an additional turn. What will he be doing? Will he reset the attack bars? No, goes for the skill 1 onto the Tessarion.
This is a really big question. Is he going to focus down the Leo? But now that Tableau has actually landed defense break on the Tessarion, I'm sure the Tessarion will be the focus from Ken. How much damage does this Ken actually have? Is it a Rage Ken? Is it a Despair Ken? Is it a Violent Ken?
I am very curious to see if this can move. Masha almost taking out that Tableau, but failing to do so. Ken dealing some serious damage, taking out that Tessarion. Oh my god, landing the strips right now. Masha taking out that Tableau, gets an additional turn into the Ken. Ken dealing some damage into the Leo.
Oh, this is really exciting to see. I think you'll want to be taking that Leo out now so that Nasha can do a lot more damage than he was previously. But Bolverk is going to do some serious healing for the team as well as damage, because the Riley feeds the Bolverk so many stacks in one go.
There we go, fast link into the Ken. Ken taking some serious damage even without the defense break because he had immunity. Riley looking to support their team on SINIP's side, getting some heals with that skill 1. Nasha.
SINIP is going to have to be careful not to put the Leo into torrent range, and I think that's why he put some damage on the Masher instead of the Leo. But at the same time, this Ken is almost gone. It was a very tanky Ken. It took a lot of hits from the Masher. But now I feel like SINIP just does not have the damage to take out any of these units because of how hard Leo counters the Nasha.
Oh, the Nasha landing some serious damage and defense break on that Leo. Leo getting a huge heal from that Bolvark. Masha with the fast link again. Lands the defense break onto the Nasha. Nasha not looking too healthy right now. Riley goes with the skill 1 heal. Bolvark goes for the strip. Manages to strip that speed buff, which does nothing. Masha with the fast. Oh, Nasha's out of the match. Looks like a clean sweep for Guts the Berserk. 3-0 and progresses to the Europe Cup.